My name's Daisy Gray.
My name's Matt Thomas.
I am constantly inspired by
Get to know your consumer before you do anything.
Welcome back to P&G's Meet the Leaders. I'm Katie Mills, and once again, I'm getting the chance to find out a little more about some of our senior leaders of our Northern Europe business. Previously on Meet the Leaders,
anyone can come to P&G, and P&G give the room for people from whatever background the opportunity and space to be successful.
The most important thing I've learned over my career is to continue to learn.
To be my authentic self.
We don't give people projects, we give them real jobs from day one.
So join me once again as I welcome a new host of leaders with their own pearls of wisdom from their long and varied careers at P&G. So let's meet my first guest today.
My name's Daisy Gray. I run our Northern Europe grooming business. I am wearing a pink jacket. I have messy blonde hair. I've been in P&G just over 22 years.
So tell me about yourself. What do you like to do when you're not in the office?
I love the gym, although technically that's inside the office because I love our office gym. So that's my favourite thing to do. I love an adventurous holiday, and then I love a teddy bear's picnic with my 2-year-old daughter.
What brought you to P&G?
I met somebody in the queue at uni in my Freshers Week who'd just done an internship at P&G, and he'd been working with the retailer Booths, which is the Waitrose of the Northwest, and I thought this was the most impressive thing in the universe, and it sounded so cool. So I applied for an internship the next year.
You've had a long and successful career at P&G so far. What keeps you here?
What keeps me here at P&G is the challenge. I'd definitely be bored if it was easy. And I love being surrounded by very intelligent people all day. And more recently, the last few years of my career, I also really appreciate being surrounded by young people, younger than me. I find that really helps keep me in touch with as the generations move on. I absolutely love being in touch with that.
I'm sure you'd agree there's not really a typical day at P&G. Can you tell me about what you've been up to this week?
Well, it's been a very exciting week. I had an excellent external meeting with Aldi where I had about 10 minutes to do a sort of power pitch about what distribution opportunities that I thought we had. That was very exciting. We were lucky enough to have Shailesh, our COO, here this week, and I was able to have some time with him, showing him around a Boots store. He had loads of good ideas for how we might strengthen the business. That was really exciting. And also, I spent some time with my team thinking about a launch that we have in January when we were building up how high is up plans. How could we make this even bigger than we dare dream? Or if money were no object, what would we do to make this launch a huge success? That was really exciting.
Having a growth mindset is critical. How would you define it? And what do you do to keep yourself in this mindset?
There are two things that I like to remember. One is be a sponge and not a rock. The second is if you think it's about having all the answers, then you're definitely wrong. It's about asking the right questions. And then also, if you think that you know all the answers, then you're definitely wrong.
What do you turn to for inspiration?
Whenever I'm stuck, I have yet to find a problem in my 22 years at P&G that cannot be better answered by going to a store and standing in front of the shelf. What we do isn't rocket science or always that complicated, and often just by standing at the shelf, you can take a step back, try to see it as the consumer sees it when they're actually making their purchase decision, and it always elucidates a business problem.
What do you think is the most important thing you've learned over your career?
I'm going to share something that I only learned recently in the last couple of years, and I wish I'd learned it sooner. The whole concept of work-life balance was lost on me until I had a baby. I did not understand that work-life balance meant building a life that was rich and that you cared about. And learning that has been definitely the greatest help to my career.
P&G has been around for over 185 years. What do you think is the secret to the longevity?
We have a company of people, not just one or two people, but every single person that's prepared to go the extra mile.
If you weren't working for P&G, what would be your dream job?
I'm going to go quite deep on this one. So, as I was growing up, I didn't come from a very well-off background, and I'd never heard of what jobs existed, really. I knew that you could be like maybe a teacher or a solicitor or a doctor, because I'd heard of them. I didn't really realise that the world of business existed. I didn't realise there would be a job title such as account manager or sales director. Was all lost on me. So I genuinely feel like I am in my dream job. If I was fantasizing in a particularly hard day at work, what would my dream job be? Then I'd probably say chief chocolate taster or head of cat cuddling.
What piece of advice would you give your younger self starting out in your career?
Worry less, be confident in yourself.
So you're the lead sponsor for our LGBTQ+ network. Could you tell me a bit about what made you take this role?
I'm an extremely passionate sponsor of our GABLE group. And when I was 8, my dad came out as gay. And at that point in the 80s, homosexuality had only been decriminalised about 20 years before then. So I don't doubt that it must have been hard. But I totally remember vividly the conversation with my mum where she sat me and my brothers down and said, "Your dad's gay, do you know what that means?" And I was like, "Yeah, can I go and play now?" And I genuinely meant that. And that kind of refreshing attitude sometimes that children bring to these topics, I find wonderful. But it still upsets me today that somebody might not feel able to be themselves, bring their whole selves to work. And I'd like to be part of making that different.
Could you share how you're approaching moving the strategy forward?
We have an absolutely fantastic GABLE community that's represented at every single one of our sites across the UK. What I am personally very passionate about is being able to take the stories of our people and share those more widely to hopefully inspire our next generation.
What role would you say the allies play?
It should never be up to one minority group to shift the landscape that's needed. It needs to be the total collective working together. And that, for me, sums up what allies need to do to help.
What would you tell someone considering working at P&G about the company's approach to inclusion?
I'd tell them, please come and work here. You will be respected and you will be included.
Thank you for watching this episode. To watch the full series, go to pg.co.uk. Or to find out more about careers at P&G, visit pgcareers.com.